Go ahead.
All right, when you secure the vehicle, you got to take the key out. All right, take them out. Make sure your brake is on. Make sure you're in neutral. Seatbelt. Make sure your seatbelt works and clicks. All right. And then you check your R297 to make sure it's up to date, no suspicious or anything else. So you got a fuel card in there, you got a accident report kit in there, and that's it. That's how you secure the vehicle.
Okay. Is that?
Shut it off. I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
All right, I usually start at the top. Two beacon lights are there, secured to the vehicle. My windshield is there, not broke, cracked, or anything. My windshield wiper is there, operational. I don't know, we'll have to check it out. All right, and then I start with the the lights on the here, they're there, not broke. All right, then I stop right there. I bucket. I look for any cracks on the welds to make sure they're there, not broke or anything. My bolts, I'm going to kick each one to make sure they're not loose, okay? The blade is one finger. All right? If you get to that one finger, you can reverse it or you can change it. Whatever, if they reversed them, you got to change it, okay? On this side, if this hook does not come back and forth, you can't use it for lifting, all right? That means it's down until they fix it. You got your inner and outer boomerang. You want to make sure all the cracks are there, not broke or anything. All right, the welds are good. My AC coupler is there, not cracked, any of the welds. My two pins on one on each side, that holds the bucket on. It's there, they're down. All right. Dog bone. Bell crank. Now each thing, teardrop right here, each teardrop is a breaking point. So if you hit something hard, these are going to break.
Okay.
Not your lift arm, not your bell crank, not your dog bone. You got hydraulic lines there for attachments, which we have a lot of attachments, okay? You got your piston for your bucket. It's there, not leaking, secured. My hoses, hydraulic hoses, are there, not leaking. You got your return to dig sensor. It's there, not broken. The wire is connected, all right? Then you got your lift arm pistons are there, and they are secured, not leaking. You got 4 bolts on this side and 4 bolts on that side. They're each there. That holds the front end on. There's a straight axle on this in the front, all right? My tire is 50 pounds of pressure, all right? No bulges, gouges in the back. The frame looks good. In the front, same thing. No bulges, cracks. Tire's got a little bit of gouge, no big deal. That's no big deal. This 3-piece rim, you want to look at it. 1, 2, 3. No more than a finger on this. All right, if you start getting more than a finger, make sure you notify somebody and tell them to look at it. All right, the rock guard for your valve stem is good, not broke. You got a cap on it. You want to touch each bolt. Make sure they're tight and your hub ain't leaking. Okay? Now 50s for the front for the air, 40 for the back. The only reason we use 50 for the front is for the weight of the bucket, the material in the bucket.
Is there any specs on the lug nuts torque, like the dumps or no?
500.
500, okay.
Yes. Fender is there. And when you're actually filling this up with air, we have a long air hose thing. You hook it there, you stand right here. You don't ever want to stand in front of it while you're filling with air.
Gotcha.
My license plate is there. All my teardrops are there, tight. Crush hazard. You got all these signs for crush hazards. This is your crush hazard. Don't get in here if you can if somebody's running the machine. All right? You got your steering piston. Grab it, make sure it ain't got too much of a wiggle. If it does, tell somebody and they'll fix it. This is the safety device to keep the bucket up in the air. When you're working on it, or whoever does. You come up front here, the piston on your lift arm. You raise it all the way up, you put it on the shiny part, and you snug it down lightly till you get to that firm thing, and then it stops. And then you could work underneath the bucket all day. All right?
Okay.
You got your other safety here. This is for the vehicle when you're towing it. It don't walk off the trailer when you're towing it. All right? You got 3 accumulators. You got one up there. I don't know if you've ever seen them before. See that black thing back there?
Yep.
That's the accumulator.
Okay.
That's for the bucket. So if the machine dies, we can get the bucket down. Don't put it all the way to the ground unless your boss tells you, because if the tractor trailer guy needs to get it on the trailer, they can get it on there with no problem. Okay? Check your structural out here, frame and all that. Make sure it's not cracked or broke. You got 2 more accumulators right behind here. One's for the front brakes, one's for the back. All right? Danger sticker. No more than 10 feet from the electric head and wires. All right? That's any vehicle. All right? You already checked your steps going up. Now, this is your transmission. All right? Transmission fill right here. But transmission tell you how much is in there is that sight glass back
Got
there.
it.
Okay? All right, right behind this door, you got a hydraulic fill. Well, hydraulic sight glass. You
Yep.
want to make sure it's full. Sometimes people just close the door and they can see it better. All right? Rock guard fender is there, secured. Tires, 40 pounds of pressure. Again, this is more than 1 finger. We already told people about it. They said it's fine. So try to stay away as much as you can. You want to check each bolt. Make sure it's there, tight. Check your hub. Check your tire for any cracks, bulges out. The back part of your thing, you want to make sure the same thing. All right, the rear end, it's called the trunnion. The trunnion does it balances the vehicle. It'll do this. It's like a ball. Actually, I can show you right in here. That's what the trunnion looks like.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now we have 6 coolers on this machine. All right. We got radiator. We got air cooler. We got AC condenser, fuel cooler, transmission cooler, and hydraulic cooler. Okay. During the test, you can't look at the paper. We expect you to remember them. All right. So, anything on during the test, you can't look at the paper. Just keep practicing. All right. Like you said, that's going to help.
Yep.
All right. This is your 24 volt. You have to jump start it. Take these off. This is for the hood open up and down. This is your main switch on and off. You want to kill the battery. Okay? All right. You got your cooling. You got your fan. Never put your hands in there because you got all these stickers here that says hazard. This machine is always under 10 pounds of pressure. So never put your hand in there. There's no belt for the fan belt. I mean for the fan.
No belt,
all right?
okay.
Yeah. All right, we got the hot side of the turbo. You got your turbo. You got your air cleaner. Oil filter. Alternator. AC condenser. Behind here is your belt. Visually look. Don't put your fingers behind there. All right?
Yep.
Okay. Lifting. Tie down. All right. Counterweight. Usually we don't want a bigger gap than this, right here. I don't know if you want to look at it right now. No bigger than a gap like that. I don't care if you start getting a gap and you go, they're tight. This thing weighs so much that it's gonna still be tight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got the backup alarm. See it up there, that black box?
Yep.
If that doesn't work, you can't use the machines. Only exceptions for emergencies only.
Okay.
Then after you're all done, you must come back.
Okay.
And place that out of service. Skid plate. Check your skid plate to make sure it's not damaged. If you see anything leaking from that skid plate, it's because the fuel tank is plastic, and that's protecting the fuel tank. All right. Fuel filters, primary, secondary. All right, you got that?
Primary?
Yeah,
Got
secondary.
it.
Oil fill. Check your oil. Make sure it's over full. Make sure there's no milkiness, no metal shavings, and everything in there.
Spell.
All right. This is your cold side of your turbo. Check that. This is for your DEF system. All right. Can't look inside there. The best way to tell if it's full, put some in it. Okay. This tells you. This will tell the engine when it needs the DEF fluid. Again, look at this side of the fan. Make sure it's good. You got motor mounts in here. Motor mounts, check them. Make sure they're there so the motor don't fall off. All right. All right. We already went over the trunnion. All right. Now we're back to the tire again. 40. 3-piece rim. No more than a finger. Check each bolt and your hub. Okay. Check your glass on this side. Fender. That's an air for the cabin filter right here. Try not to get too much water in there because you'll end up in here. And if it gets too wet in here, it gets moldy. Then you know what? You turn on the AC or you turn on the heat, you're sucking it in. Air cleaner. All right. Again, piston for your steering. Now, we went over the drive shaft, did we?
Yep.
All right, that's your drive shaft. You want to make sure it's there, not broke. All your wires are there, not broke. There's a big shiny thing in there. See that big shiny thing? Like a disc brake?
Yep.
That's for your emergency brake only. Okay. Now behind here, there's a red and black filter. The red one's the transmission, the black one's the hydraulic. You want to look?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Again, on this side, you want to check your teardrops. Make sure they're there, tight. Your horn, fender. Tire again is 50. All right. Again, no more than a finger. Check all your bolts and your hub to make sure it's not leaking. This side of your lift arm is there. Hydraulic hoses are there, not leaking. And the piston on this side is there, not leaking. My bolts, like I was telling you on this side, they're there. Okay. Raise this up, you let it go. Down, you gotta hold it. All right.
Okay.
Then on the back here, make sure your lights work. License plate, 25 miles or less on the triangle. And you want to make sure if you're trailing it, I don't know if you've got an A or a B, put it next to it with tape when you're trailing. If this is facing towards traffic. A lot of people don't know what it is, but the lawyers do. Okay, all right, now. All right, steering wheel, shifter. What gear you want to be in, first, second, third, or fourth. All right. This locks out the hydraulic for the bucket. All right. 4 ways. I told you that was the emergency brake, right?
Yeah.
Just turn that key out once. Click it on. And if you really want to know if it's on or off, it's off.
Gotcha.
Back on. Okay. Dump. Curl. Up. Down. Okay? For attachments. And then you got all your lights over there. Top ones for the lights, beacons, and all that. Automatic. A D-clutch. Return to dig. Float. I think the next one's the height. And I can't see the other one. I'll have to check that out. Then you got all your heater systems, AC, and all that. You see that red button? That's gonna take the bucket on and off. All right?
Okay.
And that's it. You can shut it down. When we take